Welcome to the 2350 Effect.
Hello, everybody. And as normally we would say, welcome Sunday. Today is not Sunday. It actually is Monday. And welcome to the 2350 Effect Meet the Presenter Week. I'm your co-host, collaborator, Damian Kinsey, co-creator of 2350 Effect, the 2350 Network. And I'm joined by, as always, Dr. Tanya Farron. Dr. Farron, tell people a little bit more about yourself because you got so much going on. And I'm going to go into the meeting.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight. I am Tanya Farron. I am the CEO of Creative Living Ideas, as well as the co-host of the 2350 Effect show and the Professional Work-Life Balance Summit, co-hosting both of those last events with Damian Kinsey. By day, I am in education and have been in education for 30 years-ish, something like that. And I am a middle school principal by day. My 5 to 9 is really working with a lot of people and developing some really amazing summits for all of you to enjoy. And tonight we're excited about sharing our presenters. If you didn't catch us last night, you can check out some of the presenters from last night by just tapping into my feed or Damian's feed, and you'll be able to see that. Or you can go to Creative Living Ideas YouTube channel as well. But tonight we've got some amazing guests to share with you again, and we're really excited about, highlighting them and the things that they do so that you can learn more about it. And then you're probably going to want to come join us at the event.
Yes, definitely come join us at the event. Also follow us on the 2350 Network on LinkedIn. Also follow us on the YouTube page, like Dr. Farron said as well. Creative Living Ideas. Follow Creative Living Ideas as well on YouTube and on LinkedIn and all other social media platforms. Without further ado, we have a packed group today, full of veterans, one new person to the summit. But as always, we welcome people and we love to have new people, new ideas, and new opportunities as well. So, you want me to introduce the first guest, Dr. Farron? Or?
Sure, absolutely. Go ahead.
Okay.
And so you can see them better than me. So when you bring them up, then I'll do whatever one you want me to do. Okay.
No worries. I got it. So our first guest is no stranger to the 2350 Effect, no stranger to the 2350 Network. She's a 2350 Network member. She is no stranger to the Work-Life Balance Summit. She is always telling you, hey, if you have a goal, make it one goal. If you make it one goal, you're able to achieve that one goal. And that way you don't get lost in all the things that go on in your head, and you don't get lost in trying to do 4 or 5 things. You pick one thing, one goal, you achieve it, and you start building up some leverage. Without further ado, multiple author Leslie Flowers. Welcome to the 2350 Effect Meet this Presenter Week. Leslie, great seeing you.
Nice to see you both. And I see that Damian didn't get the message about the dress for tonight. So we'll see if the other guests saw that email about leopard only. Good to be here.
Hey, I didn't get the email, so next time I'll get it. All right. So Also, the next guest is a 2350 member, is no stranger to the Professional Work-Life Balance Summit. She does amazing stuff about coaching and wellness, and she even did a presentation at one of the summits to talk about how do you eat when you don't eat well when you don't even cook, which is kind of remarkable that you can eat well, feel good, and you don't cook, because the normal function of that is DoorDash or something like that. Uber Eats, people just do that. And please welcome Coach Lee to the 2350 Effect. Welcome, Coach Lee. How are you?
I am doing great. Thank you. I just got off a call and they asked me if you could turn a hobby into a business, what would it be? And I don't really have any hobbies, but one of the things I like to do, and based on also what you're speaking of, I would show a person how they could make something to eat in 15 minutes or less in one skillet.
Nice.
That's awesome. You know what I think she should do? Probably demo that for us sometime and have that would probably be a good solution to that.
In real time.
I love it.
Dr. Farron, you want to take our next guest?
Yeah, of course. Bring her on up. I'm just making sure. All right. So we are excited to have joining us tonight Dr. Wanda LeGrand. She is new to our Work-Life Balance Summit and our events that we have. We're excited to have her be a part of it. She has been in education as well in the past, and she has a coaching business called Joyful Excellence Education Group. And so we're excited to have her be a part of this so we can learn a little bit more about her and just enjoy the things that she's going to talk to us about leadership. So welcome, Dr. LeGrand. We're happy to have you.
I am thrilled to be here. I didn't get the memo about the leopard, but it's black. Is it close?
That's close. That
okay.
Works.
Yeah, we both have the same memo.
It was a different memo for us.
Yeah. Welcome. Thanks for joining us, Nick, Nicole. Camille, great to see you as well.
Oh my gosh, so good to see you, Camille.
Christina, welcome. Leslie, you're here. Al, welcome. Great seeing you as well. Welcome. Guy, welcome. Jackie, welcome. Oh, sorry. I'm going to slow down a little bit.
And Ashif, don't forget Ashif.
Oh, Ashif, welcome. Who else is out there? If you're out there, please drop your information, your name, where you're tuning in from. Christy, welcome. She loves you, Leslie Flowers. All right. So we started off Meet the Presenter Week last night. Somebody tagged wrong way. Tag Felipe in honor of him. I got my DC cup from last night's conversation. So
yes, if you were with us last night, if you weren't, go back and look at it. But there was a good DC conversation last night, which I'm learning more and more about that. But so what is that logo on that cup? Tell me about that very quickly.
Oh, this is the Flash.
The Flash. Okay.
Yeah, the Flash from DC Comics.
Nice. Yes, great conversation about that last night.
All right. Dr. Farron, do you want to kick it off on the first question?
I do. So, we love to let everybody just get to know you and learn a little bit more about our amazing presenters. We always have fun with this night. This is, one of the things that we love the most about our events, the summit and the experience is that we spend time getting to know our presenters on a very personal level, as well as we want our audience to get to know our presenters even at the event. And so this is just a great way for you just to start to get a feel for them. And we just like to talk about fun things, and we'll get into a little bit deeper things as the show goes on. But today, in this virtual world, if you could work from anywhere in the world, where would it be? Or tune in, where would your dream place be anywhere in the world? And I'm going to probably be a little fickle just because later when I get my question, because I like to travel. So it could change day to day. So Coach Lee, where would you go? Where would you tune in from?
I would definitely be tuning in from the Caribbean. That's an easy one for me.
Ah, you have a love for the Caribbean.
I do.
Is it Caribbean or Caribbean? How do you say it?
I've always called it Caribbean, but I've heard other people say the other way.
Yeah. Was there an island in particular that you love the most?
Well, the only one I've really spent the most time in is Jamaica. So I'd like to explore some of the others, have an extended time, and island hop a little bit.
Oh my gosh, Coach Lee, I love water. Water is a definite thing for me, and that beautiful crystal blue water is just, it's stunning, isn't it? It's just so stunning. I love that. Thank you for sharing that. How about Dr. Wanda? Where would you tune in?
It would be somewhere near water. I love water. So I'm going to choose a place that I haven't visited yet, but I plan to go in January. Right now it would be Panama.
Okay, I have heard a couple people recently tell me about that being an amazing place. So definitely on a list for me. I love that. Tuning in from Panama. Leslie, how about you?
I'm just answering somebody, and I'm working both sides.
Where would you tune in from around the world? If you could pick any location.
San Francisco, but I would have from Pacific Heights, right? So I would have to have a lot of money, and then working would be an option because I want to live on the tallest hill so I can see the ocean every day and get on the cable car. So that's where I would go.
I love that. You love San Francisco. You have you left your heart in San Francisco, I would believe.
I did.
Yeah. It is a beautiful place. I've been there a few times myself. It's very cool. Damien, if you could tune in anywhere.
I already have it. Home.
Yeah.
I haven't been home in 7 years. So this last 9-10 months has been great being home. So going home, which is New York City.
Yes.
Although I love the DMV. It was great to me.
Mm-hmm.
Which is DC, Maryland, Virginia, for those people out there.
Yes. I know you love your spot that you're at right now, and it is a beautiful spot. Damien has sent me some incredible pictures outside his place where he's at in New York, and it is a beautiful view. So I don't blame you for wanting to be there. I think New York is a pretty cool place as well. Last night I chose Italy, but you know what? I get to pick and I get to change, and I'm excited about that. And, I want to go to Spain. That is my next stop. That's my next choice that I want to go when I travel abroad, is definitely going to be Spain. And I'm going to tap into Felipe for that. He's going to give me probably the world trip right there. I have a couple meetings with him. That'll be awesome. Yeah. It is cool that we can tune in from anywhere. So, thank you for those of you who are tuning in from around the world. We've got people from all over. So drop in where you're from. I know that Al, who's tuning in with us, is from Malaysia, which is the beauty of being around the world and being able to tune in with us. So thank you for those of you who are either early morning hours joining us or other places. Michael, you're welcome for the invitation, by the way. And I do not know about the place that you dropped in there. I'll have to do some research. And we've got someone from the Philippines. Thank you so much for joining us as well. All right. Bora Bora. That sounds exciting too. Damien, nice. Yeah.
So what's exciting? Considering we're all together, we're having these conversations. There's so much about getting to know one another. What is that one thing that is your go-to or guilty pleasure? It could be a television show. It can be a food. It could be a podcast. It could be a book. It could be anything. What is your guilty pleasure and why? Dr. Wanda, how about you?
Okay, I'm going to have to admit my guilty pleasure that I had tonight for dinner. I love truffle French fries. That is, I should not eat them often, But if I need a comfort food, that's my guilty pleasure, is truffle fries.
Nice. We have that in common. I don't know about truffle fries, but we have French fries in common. That's mine.
Add a little truffle oil, a little cheese.
You might
Really?
like the truffle fries, Damien. I'm thinking.
I'm trying to
might
stay
like-
away from French fries. I've been doing really good. So thank you. I've been working on it. So that's why it's called a guilty pleasure. You feel guilty right after it. So Coach Lee, how about you? When you pondering, what's yours?
Yeah, I don't know if I have one. I think if I decide to have something, then I'm okay with it, and I don't need to feel guilty about it. This is a choice I'm making right now.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, I choose this right now. I don't have to feel any way about it.
This is why Coach Lee is coaching people right now, right here, right now. She just did it. She just coached us.
Choose it, enjoy it, and move on.
I love it. I love it.
No guilt about my fries now, Coach Lee. No guilt.
That's right. See, Wanda, you have been forgiven of all guilt about those truffle fries.
I'm not there yet, Coach Lee, but I appreciate the motivation. I'm gonna check back next week. True crime, that's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
How about you, Leslie? What do you have? Leslie,
Well, guilty pleasure, really, the first place I was thinking about, what I'm watching right now. I'm binging on Downton Abbey. I had never watched it, and my daughter and son-in-law convinced me, right? So I like to binge. And my favorite escape is Vikings, because that matches where I'm going with Errata 865 AD. So I like long series, right, that have really good stories. As far as my guilty pleasure, it's really not guilty. So it is mushroom truffle quesadillas. Again, look at this truffle thing coming up here. And some people get sick at the smell of it. Seriously, it's one of those things. They make white truffle potato chips, close to French fries, but not exactly. And my eldest granddaughter fell in love with them. And so I would bring several bags, big bags, but my daughter was almost heaving. She said, Mama, do not bring those things in this house again. Not everybody loves truffle.
Interesting. Good
It
to
is.
know. Good to
Yeah.
know. Didn't realize that. That's awesome.
You're doing like 2 degrees of separation with everybody today. You have the leopard with Dr. Farron, the truffle with Dr. Wanda.
Let's see where the rest of the connections start flying. Well, I'm going to tell you, I'm changing my guilty pleasure tonight to another guilty pleasure that I don't feel guilty about either. I truly enjoy it, and I kind of plan when I'm going to do this. But I love to binge watch like a dating show on Netflix. Like I like Love is Blind. I watched that last winter, and I was telling my husband, I'm like, oh, the next season is out. And he said, well, let's wait until the winter and we'll really just hunker down and I'm like, oh, I can't wait. So yeah, I love watching those types of shows when people are making connections with one another. It's pretty cool. It's a pretty one. I like that one. Binge watching.
I like that as well.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Damien?
Mine's just French fries.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You only have one guilty pleasure in life?
That's the only thing I'm worried about.
I'm thinking that talk radio for the sports in the morning might be one too. I'm not sure.
No. That does not qualify under
That's
that
just
bubble.
a pleasure.
That
Okay.
qualifies under what Coach Lee said.
Okay.
I don't
Okay.
need to feel guilty about that.
Okay. Sounds good. And so let's see. Another question that I would like to have is, give us one word one word only, that best describes your approach to work-life balance. What is your one word? Give you some think time while we're going through that. One word. When you're ready, just let us know.
So I had progress last week.
Or
Yesterday. Yeah, time was gone. So I have time.
Time.
And the reason why I have time is to take time to do it.
Mm-hmm. I like that one.
I've
Go ahead, Leslie.
well,
No, go.
Maybe we should raise our hands.
No, you're good.
Really, it's boundary at which gives you the time. So really, and value. When it comes to work-life balance, the way I schedule on my calendar and my time is only high value items. And I don't change them unless there's an emergency. So I would say giving myself boundaries, not other people, but the boundaries of, okay, on Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday mornings is when I like to meet with clients. So if someone calls for a Wednesday, unless it's an emergency, it's a no-go. I give them an option on another day. So that's what I would say. I would say boundaries and value.
I love that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You may use it in your presentation if you like.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I want to thank you for those of you in the audience that are dropping in your comment to your one word that helps you describe your approach to work-life balance. Dr. Wanda, did you think of your word yet?
I did. I chose the word priority just because I make it a priority for me. If I don't always stay in balance, sometimes I wrote about recently on LinkedIn, I said yes one too many times, things felt catawampus, or I felt overwhelmed. And I thought, hey, let me remove some things from my plate because it's my work-life balance is a priority. And so I'll make changes if necessary, but my word would be priority.
I love that. Time, right? Boundaries, priority. I love that. Coach Lee, what do you have?
I had the same priority. That's I make myself a priority, and I'm not prepared to run myself ragged for others.
I love that. You know, as I was thinking about this question, it's important that we make ourselves a priority for sure, right? And sometimes we have to learn from somebody to know how to do that, right? So for people coming to the event, these are three incredible people that are going to be there talking to you about ways to help improve your work in your life. So you just heard them talk about make themselves a priority, setting some boundaries, providing that time. I want to add in inspire, because I feel we also have to be inspired to learn these things. We have to, there has to be something for us to go, oh, I want to be like that. I want to do like that. That looks fun. Boy, being less stressed out sure looks a lot more fun than being stressed out, right? And so, we just had a little weekend trip with some friends, and we were telling them, we aspire to be like you. They're very, they're about 15 years older than us, and they have a beautiful life that they have created with health and wellness. And, it's inspiring to see people, and in a direction that you might want to be. So thank you so much for sharing that. Thank you, Guy. Positive and productive. I love that. Christy added in mindfulness. I love that. Yes. And then Jackie, and it will be in tomorrow night. So check that out, and listening to some of her answers to the questions as well. Excellent. Yeah. People are going to learn a lot from you all. That's for sure. Facts.
Yeah. So we talked about guilty pleasures. We talked about one word to describe. What are you noticing in trends that are going on in work-life balance around you? So what are some of the things that are changing? What are some of the things that are coming up? What are some of the things that you are noticing in the field around work-life balance?
Especially with the people that you're working with, I think, both of you being coaches and Leslie really coaching people along as well. Like, what are you seeing with the people that are coming to you? Maybe.
There's still a very small percentage of people that are ready and willing to take on a coach, to take on a personal development program, to invest in themselves. And likely one of the major reasons is fear of poverty. I can't afford it before you even come out of the gate, or I won't be able to do it right. That's really not for me. And that's the fear of criticism or judgment. So I think that, awareness is still a very slow boat to China, right? And that's what I would like to change. And people want to kick the tires, but are they really ready to, draw a line in the sand? No, not as much as we would appreciate. And there's a lot of people that can help, but not if you're not ready. So that's what I would share.
I'll be glad to go next. I want to
Yes.
piggyback on what Leslie shared. What I've noticed, I work primarily with education leaders, and my company is called Joyful Excellence. And so they're happy to talk about becoming an excellent leader, whether a school system superintendent or deputy superintendent. And when I say, so is it joyful? And someone said, hey, did you really mean that when you had that as your company's name? I said, we're going to talk about your joy every time we get together. And they initially believe it's impossible to be an excellent leader, but also have joy. As if, and I talk about having joy held hostage to the weekends or held hostage until your vacation, but they believe that it's really impossible until you really help them to dive in, to make it a priority and to carve out the time, set the boundaries to have joy. But for me, the leaders they don't believe it's initially possible to have joy and work-life balance.
I like that. That's definitely a good point. It's been a real big shift in the industry about like having joy and work. Like we talked last night about feeling guilty about not taking time off and having time off. The shift of that. So thank you for bringing that up. And if you want more in depth, you can go back to the YouTube page and get the information about that as well, because that was a good conversation. And I love that y'all piggybacking and the theme is continuing. Coach Lee, what about you? What's coming out for you?
Yeah, I would agree both with Leslie and Dr. Wanda. I see that in the women I've coached, especially in the wellness space. And I feel like they just feel beholden to the work that they're doing, and self comes second. Work is first. And if there's anything left, then perhaps they'll do something for themselves. But they don't consider themselves a priority. It's almost laughable, almost like some far-fetched dream. Oh, wouldn't it be nice? But work is everything, to the extent that they almost dread the weekend and almost dread going on vacation, because when they come back, there's emails on the Monday. There's so many emails. So it takes away the joy already of taking time off. So that's what I hear on a continual basis.
Wow, I love this I love this conversation surrounding that piece of joy and being ready to accept it. And it is bringing some ideas to my mind of conversations, right, that I've had with friends or other people who are not really ready and open. They want something different, and you're talking to them, but they're not really ready to allow themselves to feel that joyfulness or to embrace that and change for themselves. So great awareness that you guys have brought about just with this conversation.
Thank you. What's coming up for you?
Oh shit. Sorry.
Me?
Oh.
Yes.
Do you mean my answer to the question, or did you mean my? That was my answer. Like I'm agreeing. I'm in agreement with the fact that, yeah, that's what I thought you meant. I'm completely in agreement because, you know, when I talk to people who are in other workplaces or spaces and we have conversations around it, it's kind of like, this is work. I really should just feel this way. I shouldn't feel joyful. I shouldn't. What do you mean that can't be? You know, those are more the conversations that are had. They're not really ready to even open their mind to even to let the conversation resonate with them, for them to start making some, really being open to the suggestions to make change.
And can I add on to that, please? I don't know if you heard me cussing or not because I hit the mute button. But anyway, what I was going to say is, look, there are so few people that are ready and willing. We cannot make people or coerce them or control them or inundate them that they should be ready based on what we think. There are so few that this actually like gives us a break. You're in the tire kicker category. So you can do tire kicking, but don't book 30 and 40-minute Zoom calls with a busy person. And that was never your intention. You're not ready or willing. Go and do the research. But I would say that to respect people's time, and that it's okay whenever you get that bug, like there's got to be more than this. I'm ready and I'm willing now. That's your time. So it really takes a lot off of coaches in the sense that our ideal clients are not tire kickers. We want to spend our time with you after you've done some due diligence and looked a little inward, and then you're ready and willing. Then let's talk. So there's a distinction there, and coaches usually get stuck with, and this happened to me, until you learn this particular boundary, to qualify someone, to give them complimentary whatever, invite them to a workshop so that they can get to that place and to see if they're ready or willing. Mm-hmm. But they shouldn't, there is no should with it. Well, she should be doing that. He should be by now. That is, it's relative to each person. I love this conversation too. Mm-hmm. Very nice. Very nice.
Absolutely. Absolutely. How about you, Damien?
I think it's more, so when I talked about it last night, but I'm going to kind of switch gears. I think it's more so those empathetic connections to create opportunities to build relationships that have changed. It's gone are the days where it's like, you know what, I come in, I leave, and I know nothing about you at all. You know, there are a lot of work opportunities that are taking place with like wellness groups at work to create work-life balance. Having conversations around how are you not taking it home? So companies and organizations have been shifting towards that in the last several years. And, you know, retreats come out of it, you know, office activities come out of it. You know, you might have places that honor birthdays and they do birthday celebrations as a group, milestones together. Those things have been coming up more and more. And it's like, you know, people graduating from school as opposed to, you know, years like 30, 40 years ago, it might have been just a retirement party. You know, you honoring the end of someone's career. Now you have a lot of stuff where people are having conversations around, you know, you major 1 year and making celebrations around it. So those things are coming up, and as far as bringing work into work-life balance and honoring that, you know what, your job isn't about your 8 and skate. Sometimes it's about, you know, taking that 6-hour workday and turning the other 2 into an opportunity to relationship build beyond the work.
Very cool.
I can tell Wanda wants to add something to that. I just feel like she's ready to say something. Go ahead, jump in.
No, it was just the amen screen. I'm like, oh, I love that. That's great. That's all. I love that so much. I have seen that as well, and I love I love it when I see it.
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So continuing in with our conversation with this, so what inspired you all to focus your work on, your professional work-life balance? Like, what brings you to this area? What inspired you to focus on this? Damien, I'm going to ask you first.
You want the answer?
Yes.
Burnout is
just
something that you
discussing.
cannot recognize until you really sit down and reflect. And a lot of times it hits you. And you're running and you're running and you're doing and you're just working and working, or you're doing so many external things that you do not know how tired you are. You don't know how overwhelmed you are. And I recall going to vacation and going to Disney World and coming back tired. And and I went for a week, 5 days rather, and going to something like that, which was fun, engaging, but I was tired. That's why I kind of think it's important to have like some level semblance of work-life balance and understanding and pausing, because life is short, it goes quickly, and you do miss moments that go on with family and friends. And I think prioritizing every aspect of your life and not just one part of it is important.
Yeah. Thank you so much. That was a great answer.
You're welcome.
Great answer. So, Coach Lee, what inspired you to focus on your work, your professional work-life balance?
Yeah, as time goes on, and kind of a little bit along the lines of what Leslie was talking about, it's kind of how you see yourself and what do you value, what's important.
Mm-hmm.
Often clients will come in and say, I'm with company XYZ. And I'm thinking, but are they with you? That is the question. Are they with you? Because you are releasable for sure. And they will carry on doing what they're doing. Somebody else will take on your role or whatever will happen. Nobody's going to value you more than you value yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yes, I'm going to do the work or what I was, and even above and beyond if necessary, but not at this point in my life to my detriment. Because then you're not really of any use to anybody, including yourself. You're just running like a little, on a little hamster wheel kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so I like to feel good and I like to feel well. And I want to protect that. That's really, really what it is. Whether that's whether it's workout time in or get meals in a timely manner, all of those kind of things I have put at the top of the priority list.
Mm-hmm.
And it started some time back when I was working in the hospital, and you could just work like you had lost your mind kind of work there, really. And I remember there was a time there was some classes that I particularly loved to go to, and it was after work hours. So I would say I don't plan to be doing my own life during work hours, and I don't plan to be working during my free time, my life hours, right? So the offer was made, would you like to stay and do some extra hours? We're really short. We need somebody to stay 4 extra hours. And some people might take that opportunity. You're already there, you already know who you're going to be working with. And of course, there's overtime. But I had a class that I particularly enjoyed, and it was thrilling. And I wanted to go. I was looking forward to that high, to be honest. And I said, I would tease them a little bit. I'd say, let me think about it. And I'd say, no, I don't think I'm going to stay. But thanks for the offer. I didn't say I'd rather go to my class, but I'm like, I'm going to go to my class. I'm looking forward to that. I'm working really hard right now. And then I'm going to go to my whatever class it was later. Because that's, for me, that helps it. That makes it all work.
Right.
That's what makes it all work. If I'm going to stay an extra 4 hours and run around some more like a Looney Tune person, I might get a little resentful, and we wouldn't want that.
Right.
So,
no, we don't need resentfully. No, definitely not.
So
No, I
that's
love
what I
that.
do.
Yeah, and I'll say my piece at the end. I'll say my piece at the end. All right, Dr. Legrand.
Mine is similar to what Damien said. I was deputy superintendent in Indianapolis Public Schools, and I guess I was really close to burnout. I had awful physical responses to stress. The district was rated as an F district. The superintendent and I worked 7 days a week, and it was just we just worked and worked and worked. And I thought at one point in time, when I went to the dentist said, "So, Wanda, do you know you're grinding your teeth?" I said, "I'm doing what?" And he showed me, and I said, "How do you?" And it's in the front. I'm thinking, how busy am I that I'm one, grinding my teeth, and two, I brush them twice a day, but I didn't even see it until he mentioned it. Right then, I said, something has to change. And so I started to, as Coach Lee said, prior to this role, I was working out, I was eating better. I just started to refocus my priorities on me and being well. And we still had excellent results there. And so in every other role since then, it's been a focus. No more grinding of my teeth, no more of the bad physical things going on, because I've made it a priority. I just got so far away from it in the role because I wanted to be impactful for children and families that I did have awful physical responses. But that was the pivotal point for me.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. Thank you so much. Leslie, how about you? What inspired you to focus your work on professional work-life balance?
Well, I didn't, because there wasn't such a thing then. We didn't call it that, right? But ultimately everything that we do the work that we do feeds into living a life of wealth, health, and happiness. That's where we're headed, to be able to be happy, healthy, and wealthy at as often, and to aspire for that. And so I guess the work that I do relieves anxiety, and it has to do around achievement, because as Damien, as you said, the one goal at a time, right? There's more reasons than what you shared, right? Because you will achieve it. There's a process that can be duplicated. So there's just too much going on when you set more than one goal at a time. Plus the fact you have a life to live. Plus the fact that it's a misnomer that you need more than about a half, 3/4 of an hour, a couple times a week, right, along the way to achieve that goal. You don't have to be super and encumbered with it. Now, there was a time for many years when I worked in startup companies. And so let's just talk about working 60 to 70 hours a week every week for sweat equity. So do I know what you're talking about? Absolutely. But the one goal allows your anxiety to diminish, because when you have several goals, you likely will not hit any of them. The percentages are poor, and no one ever taught our teachers or our parents how to achieve a goal with consistency. The best that we have is sporadic and haphazard achievement, but that doesn't build any momentum. That doesn't give us the process so that we can just plug and play with our goals. And that relieves your anxiety when you know that you don't have to work like crazy, that you can just think about it, visualize it. You'll start to see the world through the prism of that goal. But it doesn't mean that you have to bury your head in it every day. And so that is the work that I'll bring to this summit, is the actual process to set and achieve all your goals, and you did not know how to do them, or you failed at them before. Now that's one of the big achievements, or the laws of achievement. And somebody here was talking about, I did this and I didn't know how. Was it you, Dr. Wanda? I thought it was you. One of you said, I did it and I didn't know how. What you want to know is that one of the few things that no one ever taught us, we've tried and we've failed. There's no doubt. And we've learned some things, but it's counterintuitive to pick something that you don't know how to do. or that you've failed at before. But it has to do with what you said, Dr. Tanya, which is inspiration. You have to be motivated long enough to achieve the thing. You also have to live your life. And the last thing I'll say is that there's a nap on my calendar every afternoon.
We love that. We know we don't interrupt Leslie on nap time of the day. But I just have to say, like, you know, this is such a purposeful conversation, like just perfectly, you know, expressing what people who maybe have no idea of whether or not they have a work-life balance at all or what it looks like, for them to start thinking about it. I mean, from the point or learning and looking within, like Damien had said, you know, reflecting, looking back in, you know, Dr. Wanda talking about physical, like what is her physical body feeling like when she was out of balance and was, you know, just nose to the grindstone 7 days a week, you know, Coach Lee, you know, talking about that, you know, learning more about it and, you know, prioritizing yourself. And then you talking about that as well. I mean, they're all kind of coming together. So if someone's here listening to this, I hope this is resonating with you because, you know, a lot of times we don't know. And this is the beginning for a lot of you to start to understand, like, wow, I might be feeling that way. Wow, that might have happened to me too. Wow, I might need to start paying attention to some of this. Like, you know, and set a goal forward for what do I want it to be? And you're probably going to need to start small and, you know, one step at a time and learning from others. As I talked about inspiration before, right? I hope this conversation is inspiring you to come join us or to learn more about work-life balance and yourself. Again, you know, what inspired me to focus my work on this is I was in education. Teacher burnout rate is all-time high. Educator burnout rate, all-time high. Social worker, all-time high. We're looking at fields where there's such a large burnout of the performance of the job to the physicalness to health ailments. And, you know, we have a nurse right here, you know, Coach Lee as a registered nurse can tell you how horrible stress is on your body, you know, and the illnesses that you can gain from having that much stress. And so really, really, truly, you know, when I saw this and I knew about it, and then I started meeting incredible people like Leslie, like Coach Lee, like Dr. Wanda, Damien, I said, I got to get these people in front of other people. That inspired me to help other people to say, we have a powerhouse here of people to be able to talk to other people. And so that's what inspired me to do that. And I've taken pieces from every single person, every single thing, and I start adding little bits into my life and making adjustments. And life is beautiful. It can be really beautiful. You can have so many pieces. That's really nice. We'll just close the show with that. No, I'm just kidding.
No, that is definitely well said. I do have another question, and it kind of combined everything that everybody is saying here. I know Lee talks about like just do the thing. Like it's always like stop getting yourself stuck. Just go do it and just do it. Leslie talks about that one goal and making sure you're achieving it. And Dr. Wanda is talking about joy. So I do have a question for everybody on the panel. What is that one thing that brings you joy that promotes work-life balance for you? And while you think about it, I'm going to just show the website for everybody so everyone can see. This is the actual Creative Living Ideas Zoom events website where you can go and you see all the information, all the stuff that's going on for the summit. We are a little over a week away from the summit, so get your tickets and reach out. It is definitely in the comment section. You can go to Creative Living Ideas website to get the information. And those people out there as well, join us as well. And this particular question, what is that one thing that you do that brings you joy, that promotes work-life balance? I know that's it's a lot of information right there. So, all right. Who wants to go first? All right.
I can go. Go ahead, Coach Lee. Go.
I know it's so basic and so essential, but and I experienced this last week. I started a new position and a lot of onboarding, just a lot of everything, a lot. And this is very timely because I don't actually really need to remind myself to have work-life balance, but there's something came up that is a priority to me, to all of us. And I'm going to tell you what it is. It's a little word. It's got 3 letters in it. And I found, well, I already knew, but I got reminded last week about how important it was into my happiness, my everything. And it was eat. I know I need to eat, but it worked out on this particular thing I was doing last week that eating didn't happen when it needed to happen. And, there are days stuff happens, but if it's going to be an ongoing thing, we got to work something out, because that needs to happen in the way that I am accustomed to it happening, so that I can feel my best self and do what I signed up to do. And I realized that if that fell off, that everything was a little bit wonky. And so, thank you for that. Congrats there. So I know it sounds basic, but it's easy. And I realized that they had a different criteria than I had, to do with whatever the labor laws are. You can be here for this amount of hours and blah, blah, blah. So you're good. And technically I was, but I came to find out I wasn't. And so whatever the laws are is fine, but I need to make sure they realize that I'm making myself a priority. So we need to figure something out so everybody gets what they want, basically. And so it's a basic thing, but when you've not been in that environment, and you can eat and sit down and rest and walk and sun and do all the things when you want to, and now you're in an environment where you maybe have a little less control, you've really got to what's the word? There's a word.
Advocate
for yourself. Advocate for yourself.
Advocate. Yeah.
That's the one. And do that. And the earlier you do that in any new setting, the better. So that you've set that boundary very early on, so that everybody knows. I know, and you do it upfront, like in a relationship, whatever the things are, be upfront about them very early on, as a matter of fact kind of thing. And then everything's good. So going forward, I shall eat.
I love that. It's a basic need. We all know that, right? It's a basic need. It should be expected, but sometimes we do have to step out and say something about it.
I'm happy to go next, Damien.
Thank you.
So mine would be similar to Coach Lee's. If I had to choose one thing, it would be rest. So it brings me joy. It helps anchor my work-life balance when I'm well rested. And so not just going to sleep, but making sure my evening routine is set so that I wake up feeling well rested. It's essential for me to feel well rested, to have joy. It's hard to be joyful if I'm tired. Really hard.
That is a definitely good point.
I see 2 basic needs there.
You don't even have the energy.
Sleep and rest, 2 basic needs there. Amazing.
Thomas is talking about happiness versus positivity. You're tired, how in the world can you feel joy? That's a good point, Dr. Wanda. Leslie.
What was the question again? I was so busy listening to Lee and Dr. Wanda. Ask it again, please. There we go.
Yeah. What is one thing that brings you joy that promotes work-life balance?
I think the thing that really brings me joy now, as opposed to over many years, is when I get a private message from someone who was in one of my rooms letting me know that they've been seen. So when I can see people and know that I see them, when they know I see them, and how they show up for me, that is really sort of like the cherry on top of the whipped cream on top of the sundae. For me, it is knowing privately that people are being seen, being affected. And so I think it's acknowledging other people and who they are for me, because the way I show up for you is likely better than what I think I'm showing up as, even though I know I'm great. Okay, don't get me wrong, we're all great. But the reality is, no matter how much of this work we do, we still have those old fears and the old whispers of lack of confidence. So I would never see myself as great as you see me. So that's got to be reverse. And so that's what I do. I think it's the acknowledgement of other people in the world we live in now, where we're really disconnected in many ways, that being seen is super important. So that's it for me. Acknowledgement of other people. Yeah.
Nice.
Thank
Nice.
you.
Mine is a little different. It took a long time for me to say the word no. And once I added no to my vocabulary, into my life, and life got a lot more joyful. I didn't always have to be the yes person. I could say no politely and, calmly and easily. And no didn't mean never. No just maybe meant not today or not right now. No might mean let's do it in 2 weeks instead of 1, or let's do it in 6 months, or, that no, it can be very powerful for finding your own work-life balance. And you know what else I've done? I think as a mom, sometimes there can be like mom guilt on our kids, right? And I've given my kids permission to say no. They want, I'm like, here's an option, but if you want to say no, that's okay. Like, I want them to know that their work life, their balance, their things that they have going on as adults are important, So I think teaching that to our families is important as well.
That's the hardest no for me. That no, because it's fear of missing out. Well, oh my God, if I don't take it on right now, because it sounds so darn exciting,
It is
but
hard.
what it
You're right.
does, but it distracts you from your goal. So unless it takes you directly towards your goal, you have to say no. But you can say, this sounds so great. Could we talk about it again in a
Mhm.
few weeks? Or if anything changes, may I reach out to you? And that softens that inner feeling, like that we would be, to say no is unkind, right? So it also, we don't have to throw it away. It
No.
doesn't, like you said, it's not no forever. And that's really big, really big, Dr. Tanya.
Yeah.
Wow. Well said. No. So I know we're at time. What is the one thing that you want to leave everybody with? Gearing towards your presentation for Work-Life Balance Summit coming up next week. Was that one thing you want to leave people with?
I'll go because I wrote it down, so I'll be done quick. So what we want people to do is decide on one thing that you want very much over the next few months that would make a difference in your life. It's not $1 million. You cannot rob a bank. That doesn't count. But what is the one thing that you really have been wanting to do? You have no clue how to do it, that you're compelled somehow to be the one, or you may have failed at it. So, and you've been wanting to do this for a long time. That's what I would say to be pondering What is that one compelling thing that would lift you up should you achieve it in 3 months? That's what I would offer them. Thank you.
No, thank you. How about you, Dr. Wanda?
Love that. Can you repeat your question? I was so involved in Leslie's answer.
No
No.
worries. What is that? What is the one thing that you want to leave people with leading up to your summit and your presentation?
My one thing is to have hope. Sometimes you can feel as if you're just so overwhelmed, you're just so burdened. I want to leave that there is always hope and opportunities. And I believe the summit, when people register and they see all the presentations, just seeing them would definitely provide hope, because there will be a session there that could answer your question. There could be a session there that makes your shoulders drop, your chest feel lighter, but always have hope that things can get better. And I believe attending the conference and you see the list of the presentations, I bet you there's at least one, but there are probably several that will help you with maintaining your hope and finding the answer for joy and work-life balance.
I like
That was
that.
lovely. Yep, that was great.
Coach Lee.
I would say, again, back to just one word, and that's come and be open. Just maybe no expectations. Just come open. Pick maybe some people, whatever they're talking about, that jumps out at you, or just sit for a minute and look at the names and look at the title. Just sit quietly and just see what calls you in and go into those sessions. But come open. It says you like it, you don't, it's good, it's not, it'll be good. But you know, come open and see what you can take away that can have an impact on your life going forward. Just come in a neutral state and see what you leave with.
It's perfect. Absolutely.
Dr. Farron?
Yeah, I want to meet you. So come and join us. I mean, I always say come play with us, because we really have a good time. We get to know one another. We have great conversations. If you like the conversation tonight, you're going to get even more and in depth. And so come and join us. This is the tip of the iceberg. We're here every single night this week through Thursday. You can always catch the replays as well. But we would love for you to join us October 3rd and 4th at the Work-Life Balance Summit. Damien, you close us out.
We're all in different places of the country right now. We're coming together. We're all together to create this summit. I think the summit is about opportunities for us to get focused on doing and taking one step forward, meeting other people who can help and support us. We don't have all the answers, but as a collective and a group, we can come together and figure a lot of things out. And that is what it's about. It's about being together and providing opportunities so we all can grow and network. So come to the Professional Work-Life Balance Summit, meet some people, come to the breakout rooms, come to the networking room. It is 2 workshops that are going on each hour, but the great part about it is don't worry about if you go to one or go to one and then go to the other one. You have the opportunity to watch it on replay for several weeks afterwards. That's the beauty of the summit and this opportunity. And I did get the memo because we're all wearing glasses. So I wanted to close the loop at the end. Thank you all for your time, your patience, your support, and I appreciate every last one of y'all's presenters and also people in the audience who took time out of their day to say, hey, I'm going to tune in and I'm going to talk. I'm going to write in the chat and support. All right. With that said, please don't leave, because we do have the reel of all the presenters, and we just want you to see some of the amazing people that will be coming up. Good night, everybody.
Thank y'all. Bye.